Welcome back to Points and Pixels. I've been playing a new game called Where Winds Meet, which launched on November 14th. It's an action RPG with MMO elements set in ancient China, and I have to say, it's been pretty fun. In today's video, I'll be going over my initial impressions of the game, including the game mechanics and monetization. Let's get started. Starting with the setting and story, I'll try to avoid any major spoilers. The game is set in a fantasy version of ancient China, specifically during the era of 5 dynasties and 10 kingdoms after the fall of the Tang dynasty. You play as a young swordmaster, whose past is shrouded in mystery as you journey out into the Jianghu and uncover forgotten truths. The first chapter of the story was excellent. The scope was kept small and revolved around Heaven's Pier, the place your character grew up in. It builds towards some dramatic moments and conflicts, and definitely sets up the stage to expand the world. I really like how the developers blended a historical setting with the more fantastical elements. Even with all the mystical elements and fights, the characters still feel grounded and realistic to the time period. The details in the setting and world building are phenomenal, especially when you arrive at the capital city of Kaifeng. Now, I only just got there, and I'll definitely go more into detail in a later video, but from what I see already, exploring this massive city is like a game on its own. What I can say is that the groundwork of the narrative plus the environmental design has got me fully invested in the game. Now let's talk about the graphics and world design. According to the game's details, the playable map covers about 20 square kilometers. The environments, set pieces, and world design really deliver on the wuxia fantasy aesthetic. You can tell the developers love the genre as they put a lot of love and attention into making the world feel alive. Also according to them, there's over 10,000 unique NPCs in the game, all doing their own thing. Of course, there's definitely some flaws, the biggest being the layers upon layers of menus. I got really frustrated trying to clear all the red dots to claim prizes, and it was just plain confusing to navigate sometimes when trying to upgrade or collect. I don't know if they had different teams work on different parts of the menu, but this is something that definitely needs to be streamlined. Overall, the visuals are beautiful and can match or even beat many AAA games. The environmental effects, the combat animations, and general vibes are just fantastic, and it feels like a breath of fresh air. Now let's move on to the gameplay and combat mechanics. As an open-world action RPG with MMO elements, it feels like a combination of Breath of the Wild, Assassin's Creed, and Dark Souls. The game has a lot of open-world exploration, puzzles, and collectibles that are necessary to advance your character, while the combat has timed attacks, parries, and punishing gameplay that requires some strategic thinking. Button mashing will probably get your character killed. There's also stealth assassination kills once you unlock that ability. There are several different weapon types that you can use, like swords, spears, and fans, etc. You can carry 2 of them at a time, and they can fill different roles like tank, healer, and DPS based on their skills. I've been playing mostly solo, so I've combined the nameless sword for DPS and the panacea fan to heal. It seems like a good combo for exploration, but I can see that I need to use a different setup for harder bosses. Don't worry if your reactions are not the best, and if you prefer a more casual experience. You can turn the difficulty to story mode, as well as deflection assistance. This allows the game to give you a quick time event to parry attacks, though I only recommend using this if you're really struggling, since part of the fun is trying over and over to get better. You can learn skills by secretly observing other NPCs. One of the first you get is Tai Chi. This leads to some fun encounters, like using Tai Chi to throw a bear, or exploding the water to fish. There's other skills that allow you to steal items from NPCs or temporarily paralyze them. Beyond pure combat, there's plenty of other things to do. Of course, there are the more standard RPG elements, such as solving puzzles and dungeons to get treasure, finding collectibles, and such. But there's also a lot of fun mini-games around the world. I've only seen some so far, like using your chi to fix a goose's broken bone, or playing pitch pot while drunk. I also really like how the developers incorporated AI when you talk to the NPCs. You can actually chat with them to build up friendship and get items. There's also probably a whole bunch of stuff I haven't seen yet, so I'm looking forward to discovering more. Now let's talk about the multiplayer. The game is currently available on PC and PS5, and crossplay is available. In the near future, the game will be released on mobile as well, so I'm not really sure why they didn't release it all at the same time. The game is not a true MMO in the sense that there's only one world where you can see all the other players all the time. Rather, by default, you start in solo mode. In this mode, you play through the story and explore the world like you would most other single-player RPGs. The only interaction you have with other players is through their signposts that they can drop around the world. I personally turned them off as they're a bit too numerous and would often give away the puzzle mechanic immediately. I only turn them on if I'm stuck. They also ruin the world aesthetic with pins everywhere. On the other hand, You can also see signs for where players died. This one I'm okay with since the way they designed the sign fits into the setting much better. And there's something eerie about walking into a location and seeing the signs of many player deaths. It definitely sets the tone when exploring. Now for multiplayer, there are several ways to do it. The first way is similar to Genshin Impact, where you can invite players into your world. You can explore together, defeat mobs, and one thing I really like is they can help you collect treasure chests and collectibles. While you cannot do the main story quest co-op, there are some campaigns that can be done together that have a story and dungeon associated with it. I found this to be very fun, as it's a nice mix of puzzle solving and combat with other players. Now I haven't done all the different multiplayer modes yet, so I'll get back to that one later. Next, you can toggle the world from solo mode to multiplayer mode. This one feels a lot more like a traditional MMO, where you can see many other players persisting in the world at the same time around certain areas. You can emote and even spar with other players. While I haven't experienced all the multiplayer content yet, from what I've seen from other videos, there's interesting ones like bounties where you hunt down another player because they committed a crime. Or you can even defend players from false accusations. One thing I did experience though was getting a physical ailment that needed treatment from another player. It's a good way to force social interaction, I suppose. I also joined a guild, which allows you to visit a large guild house. There's weekly quests available that you can complete that gives different rewards. I haven't done too much here yet, so we'll see. Talking about currencies, I have to address monetization. First and foremost, the game is very free-to-play friendly, and there's no pay-to-win mechanics. Everything you pay is purely cosmetic, and I haven't felt pressured at all to spend, as the game gives you quite a lot of cosmetics already just playing the game. Most of the items are at a set price, so it doesn't feel predatory. The only gacha mechanic in the game is for the really fancy-looking outfit and mount, which I believe is rotated out. The standard gacha has several outfits that will always be available. From what I understand, pity is at 50 rolls, and they carry over between banners, specific to the type of currency. The two types of roll currencies are the gold one for limited banners and the silver for the standard banner. The paid currency are the pearls, which you can get from topping off or from the monthly pass, and it's about $1 for 60 pearls. You can get jade from quests and treasure chests, and these can be converted into pulls. One thing I gotta say is all these different currencies are a bit confusing. And these aren't the only ones. Just looking through the menus, there's already several other types. I wish they kept it simpler for sure. I'll probably pick up a battle pass and monthly pass myself, as those are usually good value, and I want to support a game that has no pay to win, and that's been a blast to play so far. Overall, Where Winds Meet has exceeded my expectations. The gameplay, story, and world design are all top tier, and I've been enjoying every minute in the game. I highly recommend you download the game and give it a shot. And while there's some complexity and quirks, it's free to play, so you got nothing to lose trying it out. Anyways, I have to continue progressing the story in Kaifeng, and I'll try to make another video going more in-depth into the city and the gameplay there. If you like this kind of content and want to see more, please like and subscribe for other gaming videos, right here on Points and Pixels. I'll see you in the next one.